obviously the big thing you want to do in practice each and every day is try to stack positive performance. I talked about that, so that focuses on improving, every player, play better. And the way you do that to me is you got to own up to your actions and decisions, because that's how you learn how to correct every mistake, every bad decision that you make, and then you accumulate lessons learned, and those lessons learned help you perform better every day, execute, do your job better, develop more confidence, and so you're always playing better tomorrow. And that's what we try to focus on this week. This is a little bit of a difficult preparation. It's a little different, kind of offense than what we've been seeing, and our players really got to stay focused to be able to do it the right way. And we're continuing to try to create the kind of balance we want on offense to be explosive offensive team.
Okay, with that, we'll start with Chase, or not Chase. Do you have one? Charlie. I'm sorry. Did you have one?
Yeah, Coach, I just want to ask you about Amari Niblack. Just what kind of progress have you seen from him for him to get some first team reps this week?
Yeah, well, he's a guy that we're trying to use more and more. Learning curve is always the issue with young players, and being able to learn lessons and stack positive performance and be confident in more and more things that you can do. But definitely a guy that we think can be a weapon for us on offense, and he made a couple good plays in the last game, and hopefully we can build on that.
Mike on the middle.
I know last week on the radio show you talked about having hateful competitors on the team in the past. Who were some of the guys you were talking about, and have they been able to speak with this team and to inspire them with that?
Well, we have some guys that I think do a really, really good job of creating a good example for how they practice, how they play, the mindset that they have, the mental toughness that they have. I'm not going to start mentioning names, but I do think those guys impact other people on the team, and I think it's important to have that. If that's, attitudes are contagious. So when you got guys on the team that do that, I think that can become contagious as well. So when you got negative people on your team, that can be contagious. I don't see a lot of that on this team. So I see guys, trying to do things the right way. We just got to do a better job of executing.
Back over here with Chase.
You mentioned at the top that Vanderbilt's offense is a little different than what you've seen. What are a couple of the wrinkles that make it unique?
Well, I'll talk about their offense, and I'll talk about what we're going to do. You want me to tell you what we're going to do so they know? I mean, I can just call their coaches and dial it up for you. But, there's elements of, option football in what they do, and that's not something that we see all the time. So our players got to have really decent eye control, and when the point of attack moves, they've got to be able to adapt correctly, and everybody play responsibility football. That's what it comes down to. And they're very capable of throwing the ball as well. So you got to play good pass defense and not give up explosive plays while you're trying to do that.
Back on the left with Nick.
How do you practice wide receivers getting separation?
Well, we do a lot of one-on-one, and we try to teach players, there's two places that you're probably going to win on the route if you're getting man-to-man coverage, which I guess that's what you're talking about. You either beat them on release, so you teach guys, several releases that can be effective for them relative to the route that they're running. And then you teach them how to drop their weight and get out of the break at the top and try to keep the top of the route, try to keep the defender cut off. If you drift on the route, the defender can undercut you. All right, so those are the two areas that you focus on the most when you're trying to create separation, because that's really where you usually beat guys. You either beat them at the line, on the release, or you beat them out of the break. And those are the two areas that we try to focus on.
Up front here with Nick. Kelly.
Yesterday, DJ Dale called Henry Toto a genius. How does Henry's ability to understand offenses help his teammates in preparation?
I thought you were going to ask how DJ Dale really could recognize a genius, but I did. DJ's a good guy. I don't mean it that way, but I was just kidding. Henry's just a really instinctive, smart football player, but he does a really good job of preparing for games, and I think Pete does a really good job with the linebackers understanding, you know, how they fit relative to, you know, whatever the call is. And Henry is one of those guys that, you know, he gets it, he sees it, almost like a coach. He's a great communicator, so I think because he makes calls up front, that really makes the other part of the front seven feel more comfortable and confident in what they're doing and how we can execute together as a group.
I think the last one here is gonna be James, and that's gonna follow.
I know you talked about Tyler Steen on Monday, but what about his character allowed him to adapt to the program right away?
Well, Tyler's a bright guy. He's a hard worker. He's very steady in the way he goes about what he does. He's a good person, never has any issues or problems. I think he's really focused on, you know, trying to be a good player. And, you know, I think the players, you know, here kind of embrace new guys, and he's certainly the kind of guy that's easy to embrace because he's, you know, really got a positive personality and a fun guy to be around.
You have one more here to finish up, Tony.
Do you have an update on Aaron Anderson's status with his knee? We saw him kind of go through warm-ups before the game last week.
I really was hopeful that we could get through one deal without having an injury update.
Sorry.
The guy's practicing, you know, he's making progress. I don't know when he's gonna be ready to play. I mean, that's a medical decision. And, you know, he's gotta feel comfortable and confident that he's ready to go as well. So, it's still kind of up in the air.
All right, guys.
Day to day. Thank you.